assignment focus on Chapter 2, which is Descriptive Statistics. Descriptive statistics organize and present data, offering a clear understanding without making inference about a large population. It focuses on individual variables and provide an overview of a dataset. For this survey, we explore the impact of study methods on academic performance among 80 students at KPM Indra Mahkota, aiming to understand how the study method affect academic success.
To examine how KPM Indra Mahkota KPM-IM students choose their study methods for their examination, determine which study method is more effective for KPIM students. By using suitable study methods, we aim to gain more knowledge and improve efficiently. This study will provide insight into how students can study smarter, not harder, by identifying the best learning technique. It will also help educators understand student preference and offer guidance on the most effective study practices.
So, here we have data presentation. First, we have gender and support system. Female students appear to utilize both support system more than male students. Second, we have diploma program. Students who are from DCS program is more higher than DCG program. Third, study method. Students prefer self-study more than group study. Fourth, we have CGPA performance. More students fall in the range 3.21 to 3.60, which is 23 students.
Next, data analysis. For the mean, self-study is 2.93, while group study is 3.08, so group study is higher than self-study. For the mode, self-study is 3.34, while group study is 3.71, so group study is higher than self-study. For median, self-study is 2.91, while group study is 3.16, so group study is higher than self-study. For quartile 1, self-study is 2.41, while group study is 2.43. And for quartile 3, self-study is 2.45, while group study is 2.61. For standard deviation, self-study is 2.70, while group study is 2.82. So, group study is higher than self-study. For Pearson measure of skewness, self-study is negative 0.15, while group study is negative 0.22. So, self-study is higher than group study. For coefficient of variation, self-study is 92.26%, while group study is 91.69%. Self-study is more higher than group study.
To calculate the mean is midpoint equal to class limit lower plus class limit upper divided by 2. So, Fn is equal to midpoint at student. To calculate the mean of self-study is 93.76 divided by 32. So, we get 2.93. After that, to calculate the mean of group study is 94.705 divided by 21. So, the answer is 3.081190476. Based on the table above, the mean of group study higher than self-study. So, group study perform than self-study.
Next, we use this formula to calculate mode. From that, self-study method is 3.3433 and group study is 3.71, which is higher than self-study method.
Next, we're gonna find median for self-study and group study. For self-study, we got 2.91. For group study, we got 3.16.
So now we present standard deviation for self-study. Here is the data of self-study. There is a formula of standard deviation. So the standard deviation for self-study is 2.703118.402. So now is standard deviation for group study. So we get 2.8251795556 for group study.
For frequency distribution tables, for gender, female is 44 and for male is 36, so female is higher than male. For study method, group study is 21, self-study is 33, and for both is 26. So, the highest one is self-study, while the lowest one is group study method. For diploma program, DCD is 16, DEC is 17, DIA is 20, and for the DCS is 27. For the highest one is DCS, while the lowest one is DCD. For the support system, for family is 44 and for peers is 36. So, family is higher than peers members.
This is pie chart. The data from pie chart is the distribution of student or participants in a diploma program across 4 categories, which is DCD 20%, DEC 21%, DIA 25%, and lastly DCS 34%.
The pie chart presents information about student study habits, which is group study, self-study, and both. The data is presented with numerical value on their corresponding percentage. Group study, which is 21.26%, this category represents students who prefer studying in group. They account for 26% of the total. Self-study, which is 33.41%, the largest portion of students. 41% prefer to study independently. Both 26.33%. This category includes students who use a combination of both group study and self-study method, making up 33% of the total. Self-study is more preferred method among students than group study, they choosing to study on their own. This suggests that many students feel more productive or comfortable studying independently. The bar charts compares gender and support system among students, categorizing support into peers and family for males and female. Peer as a support system. Family is the preferred support system for both gender. The number of students relying on family, which is 21 males, 23 female, is greater than those relying on peers. The females tends to rely more on both support system than male. More female students, 21, rely on peers compared to males. Similarly, slightly more female students, 23, depends on family support compared to male. Male rely less on peer compared to female. Only 15 male rely on their peers, which is significantly lower than the 21 female.
Next, this bar chart compares diploma programs and preferred study methods. For DCS, the highest one is self-study, which is 11 students. For DIA, the highest one is self-study, which is 8 students. For DEC, the highest one is self-study, which is 7 students. And for the DCD, the highest one is self-study method, which is 7 students.
So now is comparison of gender and preferred study methods. So here is the bar chart of comparison. This bar chart compare males and female student preferred study method, self-study, group study, and both. So we can see male and female student prefer self-study.
Here is the data that we collect from that sample. This is histogram graph for CGPA. This histogram shows the distribution of students' CGPA across different range.
So here are frequency polygon for CGPA. These frequency polygons show CGPA distribution among students with CGPA range on the x-axis and student numbers on the y-axis. Peaks and dips indicate contraction trends. So we can see most CGPA student is 3.605.
This is an OGIF graph that shows the cumulative distribution of CGPA among students. The x-axis represents of CGPA range and the y-axis represent the cumulative number of students. The curve steadily rises, indicating an increasing number of students as the CGPA value increase. The graph suggests that as the CGPA range increased, the total number of students also increased. The steepness of the curve indicates the rate at which the student number accumulates in each range. The higher the steepness, the more concentrated the students are in that particular CGPA range.
To conclude, the CGPA data shows that study groups are more effective than self-study. Group study allows interaction with peers, enabling concept explanation, discussion of challenging materials, and the sharing of resources and strategies. Each member brings unique strengths, enhancing problem solving. We recommend organizing study session 1 week before finals and appointing a mentor for students struggling with specific subjects to improve academic performance.